Hello everyone and welcome to Superman Homepage Live, brought to you by supermanhomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. In this, our Monday, February 17th, 2025 show, we're going to be covering a range of topics. I say we because Michael Bailey is scheduled to join me any second now. He's just running a little bit late. Sadly, Mark Lax is a little bit under the weather tonight, so we wish him all the best and hope he's feeling better soon. And we will get him back next week. But for the time being, I'm on my own. But Michael, as I said, will be joining me shortly. So here he is right now. Let me bring him on. Hey, Michael.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing well, and yourself?
Ask me again next week.
I know you're having some technical issues yourself. You're on the, I believe, on your phone at the moment. So
Yes, I am on my phone
okay.
because I don't think it's the laptop entirely because my internet is trash, but they're upgrading us tomorrow to the latest in the. We finally got the fiber in the area.
Nice.
Um, and like fiber is supposed to do. I hope it's going to push through the crap and I'll look this clear all the time.
Let's hope so. So this is our February 17th show. We're going to be covering a range of topics, including the NBA All-Star spot, starring Shaq, a.k.a. Steel, meeting Superman, David Corenswet with James Gunn, part of that process. We're also going to be talking about some new merchandise, some artwork, which you can kind of see behind me at the moment. That's been part of some new merchandise that's been coming out. We've also got some comic book stuff to talk about and some awards that have been handed out. So we've got plenty to get through in tonight's show. As I said, Mark Lax joining us next week, a little bit under the weather. Get better soon, Mark. And for your support, buying us this week's coffee. Really appreciate your financial support of this show. If you want to join those fine folks and help support the Superman homepage, because it becomes quite expensive running this website, new servers, backups, all these kinds of things in place now. You can join those guys and girls by clicking the join button below on YouTube. There are different levels of membership with different levels of perks. Or you can go to patreon.com/Superman homepage. Thank you very much for today's coffee, guys. And that's all it costs you guys per week. Is the price of a coffee helps the show and gets you as a sponsor of this fine program. Thank you to everyone who's joining us in the comments. But Micah, they might want to get involved in the show in another way. How do they go about calling us and speaking with us tonight?
Well, they've got two ways they can do that. They can either visit supermanhomepage.com/live, press the call now button, in which place they'll be put in the green room, and wait for one of us to contact them and tell them when they're going to get into the show. Or they can use their smartphone and scan the QR code, which will take them to the website, which is not what I did. I just went directly through my Safari browser. If you are using your computer and you're listening via an external speaker, please mute that if we get you on the phone. And if you're using your smartphone, like I am, use your headset like I am, because the speakerphone feature doesn't really work out that well.
Yes, and if you're a little bit shy and don't want to get on the phone tonight but want to still participate in the show, as I said, there are comments that you can participate in both on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, which we are broadcasting on live right now. Any of those platforms, you can type your comments, ask any questions. Michael and I can see those and react to them as the show goes on. But if you're on YouTube and you want your comment or question featured live on the screen during the show, because we are doing a video chat, obviously, then you can click the dollar symbol there on YouTube. A slider will appear on your screen. You decide on the dollar amount you're willing to donate, and we will feature your comment or question live on the screen as we go along tonight. And for those who are listening later on as a audio podcast, we will do our best to try to just describe anything that you're seeing, that the others are seeing, watching this via YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. All right, without any further ado, let's get into tonight's topics. And we start with movie news with a spot aired on the NBA All-Star program that was this week. It was all about obviously the slam dunks and all those kinds of things that they do, which Superman has been a part of in the past. Dwight Howard, I think that's his name, was one of the prominent basketballers who wore a Superman cape and won the slam dunk contest for a couple of years in a row, a few years back. And this year there was a spot with James Gunn featuring or introducing Shaquille O'Neal to David Corenswet. It was quite funny. I'm not sure how much of it we can play without getting in trouble, but here is a little bit of that.
Biceps, too small. Boots will never fit. And the belt, not that thin anymore. I thought I sent in my sizes.
Oh, business and basketball legend Shaquille O'Neal. What are you doing here?
I'm just meeting with the director, James Gunn. I'm gonna be in this new Superman movie. Ain't that right, James?
Oh my God, I'm so glad you guys connected. It's not every day you get to meet the OG superhero. David, I want you to meet my buddy Shaq. Shaq, I want you to meet Superman. You gonna see the resemblance?
So there's just a bit of it there. You can watch the full thing on YouTube or our website. Shaq, thinking that he was going to be in the new Superman movie, sent them his sizes, but obviously looking at the costume was like, nah, it's not going to fit. Boots are too small. I'm not that slim anymore. That belt's, it's not going to fit. Quite funny. And then he meets David Corenswet, who is this new Superman, and Shaq's like bitterly disappointed and storms off and is like, upset that he's not being cast as Superman in the new movie. But quite funny. They even did a video, some outtakes. Have a quick look at some of the outtakes.
Okay, this 101, take one.
What are you doing here?
And you are? You must be a new intern.
All right, reset.
I got somebody for you. Her name is Little Debbie. Wait till you meet her. Beautiful. He's married. Leave him alone.
Let's go, reset. We start. Yeah, set and action.
James shows up and everybody wants to get their direction on. Drew Gunn, got it. You need to come more often, Mr. James.
That's Mr. Direction, Jim.
You're going to direct a director. Give him some direction.
It is really cool, huh? I didn't know that. I want you to meet.
So yeah, just some of the outtakes. Again, you can watch those whole thing on our website as well. A lot of fun there. Your thoughts?
I am bitterly disappointed. I was the first time I watched it. In fact, I sent you a message about it. Not once do they mention that Shaquille O'Neal was Steel in the film, in the movie Steel, which was a Warner Brothers film that I own on VHS and DVD. And I might add that the DVD came from Warner Archives and looks like I bought it at a convention. I don't know, and I've heard this from other people. I don't know if the printer was just bad, but it's got like this really orange haze to it. Looks really unprofessional from something that comes directly from Warner Brothers. But
yeah, in the outtakes they mentioned Kazam, but they don't mention Steel.
Yeah, like you're gonna lean into Kazam, but not Steel, and maybe because I don't know if Kazam was a Warner Brothers film, may not have been. Yeah, that was. I don't know why I went. But maybe they don't want to draw the comparison. But Shaq was a superhero, a DC superhero. But more than anything, Shaq is a huge Superman fan and always has been. He's got the tattoo. His crib is, or one of his cribs at one point had like a lot of Superman merchandise and stuff in it. I don't know if he voiced it, but there's a Family Guy sketch that's really funny, where he's complaining that his pancakes that he gets at a diner aren't in the shape of a Superman S, and he's just like, "What's the point of having millions of dollars if everything can't be Superman?" Which, by the way, would be my slogan if I ever won the lottery. Just to let everybody know. But no, I love
this.
His
pool with the S on the bottom of the pool, like in the floor of the pool. He had like a cinema decked out with Superman seat covers. And, it's phenomenal.
And I did like that at the end he was running out pretending to fly and humming the Superman, the John Williams theme. No, it was, like everybody kind of got on the Puppy Bowl thing, saying, "Is this really how we want to promote this film?" I didn't see that with this one because this is a really good promotion for the film. It got it in front of a lot of eyes. NBA All-Star Game is no joke. That is a ratings juggernaut. Not to mention the character from another company. But no, I liked it. I thought it was cute. David Corenswet is freaking huge. And he's like 6'4", and he looks so short next to Shaq. It was hilarious.
He's a giant.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
But we did get to see David Corenswet whip his glasses off. So that was nice too. So, and he's got, I think one of the things that has united all the people that have played Superman in live action in the 21st century, from Brandon Routh to Henry Cavill to Tyler Hoechlin to David Corenswet, they're all very charming in like more natural. I mean, this is all scripted, so it's not like they were just, they just happened to bump into each other and they had a camera there. But there's he's very like he comes off as very friendly and very kind of down to earth and all that. And I guess, if you're 6'4", you're used to being the tallest guy in the room. So there's probably a bit of a humbling thing there that he's like, Jesus, this guy is tall. Yeah. I have that experience every day.
You and me both.
As you well know. Yeah, we're there's pictures of us. We're about the same height. So we're used to being the short guy in the room. So no, I liked it a lot. I really did.
I thought it was well done, and it came out of nowhere. Hadn't heard anything about it. I got an email from one of our followers saying there was an NBA All-Star spot with Superman and Shaq, and I was like, messaged all the helpers and said, like, let me know if you see anything. And then within 5 seconds, I just saw it everywhere. And so we quickly posted it, and it was then the outtakes came, posted that. And then there was merchandise and imagery that came. But we'll get into some of the merchandise in a second. But obviously, we got a little bit of a closer look at the costume because Shaq is looking at all the different parts of the costume. So let's have a quick look at some of the bits and pieces. These are some stills, and they're not the greatest quality, but there's the costume obviously on a mannequin. And maybe at some point we'll have to revisit our costume analysis series once the movie gets closer to do this. But there's we've seen obviously the costume in the trailer and everything like that, but seeing it on a mannequin there with close-ups of the cape and close-ups of the material, and it's kind of got that rubber suit kind of vibe about it, and you've got a lot of design elements that kind of are a staple of some of James Gunn's superhero costumes. There's the belt close up, and it actually has loops from the trunks that it goes through. That's quite interesting. And then there's the boots, which have got that very leather look and are very New 52-ish in their design. So quite interesting to see some of those elements up close.
Yeah, this is like the first time we've really gotten such a close look at it. And in looking at that, my initial reaction that it's like the New 52 costume mixed with the trunks and the Kingdom Come S is pretty dead on as a description of it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of ironic because the New 52 costume, that came out just as they started filming Man of Steel, so I'm sure there was probably some crossover there. But this looks like more New 52 than the Man of Steel costume.
Yeah,
in a weird way, except it has trunks.
Yeah, it's look, it doesn't look that great on the mannequin. The mannequin obviously is not David Corenswet's body. It's someone just wrote in the Rommel wrote the mannequin needs to bulk up a bit because it does look quite loose on that mannequin. It's obviously just there for this particular spot that they wanted to film, but. There's different elements and design, features that are, on close-up inspection, quite interesting. But like anything else, it's all about the movement once you see it in action. So, I don't really have too many comments other than, it was nice to see different close-up images from this little spot to kind of see the costume in some detail.
No, absolutely. I was really glad to see it over the weekend.
And then we got, so that's the NBA spot, which was really cool to see. That was a little bit of a buzz for the weekend. We also got an interview in Italian from the Italy's GQ magazine, where David Corenswet is now the new face of Boss Fragrances. We've seen some photos going around about this last couple of weeks of him as the new model for Boss. And Boss the Scent is this particular commercial we're seeing here. But in the interview, it translates to him saying, playing Superman was the most challenging role of my career for its scope and physical demands. Two sides of the same person, a dichotomy dictated by circumstances, the environment, and the secret. I focus on doing my best for the director, the crew, and my colleagues who have worked at the top of their abilities for months or years. If I do well for them, I think I've done everything possible. And that is a translation from the Italian quote as seen in Italy's GQ magazine and their website.
I think it's weird that one of the first quotes we get from him is in Italian, but, I guess we take what we can get at this point with this sort of thing.
So, yeah, very interesting to see that. And it probably is in the GQ English American version, but the Italian one came out first, so that could have been translated from the English interview, but that's what we've got at this point in time, and we bring you what we get. But as I mentioned, there's some merchandise doing the rounds, and an interesting look at this merchandise is a toothbrush, an electric toothbrush, and some toothpaste. This is the artwork that is going along with it. This is a nice look at this new promotional artist impression of David Corenswet in the Superman costume that is going on a lot of the merchandise that we'll be showing you in a second. It's the background for me tonight. You don't see the design elements as much. You can see a little bit of those lines and things in the artist impression compared to the actual costume itself, but I like this.
Yeah, no, I really like it. And those trunks look like trunks. They do not look like briefs or underwear. It looks like, it looks like what they're actually supposed to be. And the more, a lot of people, I don't know if you were one of them, even the guy that came to talk to me about my internet argued with me about this costume. I don't know if I mentioned. No, that seriously happened. I was outside. I'm sorry, my phone is not the best way to do this, but I'm trying to be on the show this week. I was outside, working on my car, putting some air in the tires, and these two people from the company that's my internet service provider walk up and start telling me about the new fiber that's coming to the area. And they ask for my email address, and my email address has Superman in it. And the guy makes a joke. I'm like, okay, I said I really liked it. I really dug it. I was really happy with these. Like, how could you say that? Do you like the costume? And I'm like, yeah, I like the costume. He's like, how could you like the costume? I mean, the Man of Steel costume was so much more realistic. And he's taking his phone out. He's showing the woman that's with him who has no idea what we're talking about. And I'm like, am I having an internet fight in real life on my front yard with the guy coming to talk to me about my internet? There are things, it's like, this is, I'm in the Matrix right now. Like dogs and cats living together, but I can't escape people complaining about this costume even in real life. So I just thought, this is my life. I mean, it's like when I was driving to see my dad last year, and I stop at a McDonald's to use the facilities and get some breakfast, and I'm wearing a Superman shirt, and the guy wants to have a Superman versus Batman debate.
Oh, gosh.
And the guy I'm taking the order from. And I'm like, dude, I just want a sausage muffin and a Dr. Pepper, and I want to get back out on the road. So let's not do this right now.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, but as soon as everyone saw the trailer, nobody was really complaining about the costume. So anyway, there's always going to be people who aren't going to agree with everything, and that's fine. That everyone's entitled to their opinion. So,
Yes.
as someone just said, Mind the Gap just says, confirms designs sometimes look better in live action and not illustration. He's saying that the collar sticks out more compared to the footage we see. And yeah, that can come down to an artist's impression, the size of the collar and things like that. But looking at the actual merchandise that this was part of, or we saw it, seeing it advertised on, Spinbrush have a kid's electric toothbrush. And I saw someone say, no one's going to stop me from buying this for myself as an adult, which is fair game. No point arguing that one. So yeah, Spinbrush toothbrush. It's also oral gel, kids anti-cavity toothpaste. So natural watermelon flavor is the toothpaste for this one for kids. What happened to just I know. What happened to just those kind of minty flavors? But anyway,
oh God, like toothpaste tastes like, even when like you have the different mints, there's kind of a weird taste. I can't imagine trying to translate watermelon into that.
It's so funny. But yeah, so we're going to be seeing more of this, I'm guessing, like promotional artwork on different merchandise that's coming in the weeks and months ahead. But interesting that we get to see it on a toothbrush and toothpaste as being one of the first. But that is available at your local Walmart and other participating outlets that have that kind of stock, whether it's personal health care and that kind of stuff. So look for those at Walmart and other participating types of outlets.
Yeah, it's ironic that I see that now, because as we're packing things up, I found 2 electric toothbrushes that I bought in previous years. One I'm sure was in 2006, and I think the other was in 2013. So maybe I have to buy another one for this one, just to have like just more crap that I can just put up in my house.
Exactly. So Justin Suarez saying he's waiting for the crypto snacks for his dog. There's going to be a lot of, I imagine, puppy pet merchandise tied up with crypto.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I need a cape for my little white dog, is what I'm saying. Rachel kind of made one up, but I want one that's kind of official. So
yeah, fair enough. So that's what's happening with the new Superman movie. Plenty of new merchandise, I'm sure, coming our way with some promotional material. But looking forward to seeing all of that, and we'll keep you updated as soon as those kinds of things come across our desk. But looking elsewhere in the movie side of things, the Superman, the Christopher Reeve Story documentary film continues to sweep the awards. All before it this week, it won the Lumiere Award for Advanced Imaging Society Best Documentary. So congratulations to everyone involved on winning that award that recognizes outstanding international achievements in the creation of immersive storytelling using advanced visual technologies. They were announced on Friday, February 7th. So it won Best Documentary there. It also won the BAFTA Award for Best Documentary, which was also this past week. I believe that was on the February 16th. That was announced, and that honours films of any nationality that were screened in British cinemas in 2024. So winning Best Documentary there. Still can't believe that it missed out on an Academy Award nomination, considering it is winning every other award for Best Documentary across the scope of different awards that are out there. It won the Critics' Choice Award. It won documentary, Outstanding Producer of Documentary Motion Pictures at the PGA Awards. So the Academy just missed out.
Yeah, and that's not surprising. They tend to do stuff like that every once in a while. Though getting the BAFTA was a big deal. I was glad to see that.
Yes, that was a big deal. So congratulations to everyone involved. And it is currently screening on demand to pay TV subscribers via CNN.com, CNN connected TV and mobile apps, and cable operator platforms. So if you haven't watched it, make sure you do. Still waiting for it to be available here in Australia. I mean, we watched it in the theaters. Well, I did anyway, but to see it on a streaming platform here sooner rather than later. All right, still on the theatre type of news. Somerville Theatre in Middlesex County in Massachusetts is screening a selection of some of the best Fleischer Studio productions, including two 1940 Superman animated shorts remastered in 4K. So we've got the Bulleteers and Magnetic Telescope, the two Superman shorts that will be part of the 65-minute screening of other Fleischer animations, including things like Popeye, Betty Boop, Inkwell Imps, and so on. So if you haven't seen, and I don't think I've ever seen a Fleischer Superman short on the big screen. This is a great opportunity. I think this would be awesome.
Yeah, I think they missed a trick in the last couple of rounds of having Superman the movie in the theater, of not playing a short or two right before it. I mean, it's not like it costs any extra.
Yeah, well, they are in the public domain as well, so it's not like you have to license them out. But if you're interested, somervilletheatre.com to purchase your tickets. They are showing these on Tuesday, tomorrow, February 18th, Wednesday, February 19th, and Thursday, February 20th at 3:30 p.m., 5:30 p.m., and 7. A great opportunity if you're in the Massachusetts area to get to the Somerville Theatre and watch two Superman Fleischer animated shorts along with other Fleischer Studios animations. So get to it.
Very exciting.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're just about at the halfway mark of tonight's show. We're going to play a few messages. We've got the second half hour tonight. We've got some comic book stuff to look at. We've got This Week in History, Michael's segment. We've also got the fan favourite segment. So stick around. We've got plenty to get through in the second half hour of tonight's program. Do not go anywhere.
We'll be back in a moment with the exciting climax of today's episode. So stand by.
If you're enjoying Superman Homepage Live, then please like and share this video with your family and friends. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, then you can click on the bell to receive notifications whenever we post a new video. You can also join our YouTube membership program. Just click the join button below. Or you can become a patron and support our website by going to patreon.com/Superman Homepage.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane. No, it's SupermanHomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. SupermanHomepage.com, covering the world of Superman from the 1930s to today. News, reviews, rumors, and reports. SupermanHomepage.com for all your Superman comics, TV shows, movies, cartoons, radio shows, and more. Everything you ever wanted to know about the man.
I love all these 80s, 70s, and 80s PSAs where cartoon characters are just entering people's homes. There's one from G.I. Joe that actually has these kids trying to get like medicine out of the medicine cabinet, and one of the characters actually talks to them from the window, and I'm like, why are you at the window of the
It's not creepy at all.
bath? Were you just happening by and you saw it? It's just like it's best not to think about these things.
Mind the Gap saying that the video feed seems to be pausing for him, but I haven't heard anybody else complaining. So hopefully it's just a local problem and everyone else is fine. So pushing on, we are going to jump into the fan favorite segment of the show. Here is our intro for that. All right, our fan favorite question from last week was, what is your favorite episode of the 1950s Adventures of Superman TV series? And So people saying, yeah, it buffered for a bit there, but it seems okay now. So hopefully everyone is back with us, and it seems to be okay now. So a little temporary feed issue there, streaming issue there, but it seems to be back on track right now. So what was your favorite episode of the 1950s Adventures of Superman TV series? We had a couple of people respond. First up was JP Rocha, Michael.
Yes, my favorite episode of Adventures of Superman, JP writes, is Season 1's The Haunted Lighthouse. This is a great mystery episode, something that would have been a story from the radio show. More Clark than Superman using his reporter detective skills to solve the mystery. And, it's interesting he mentions that because the more I've learned about like the history of that television series and the more I've listened to the radio show, yeah, the first season is just an extension of the radio show, just in live action.
Yeah.
And he's absolutely right. This would have been right. This episode would have been right at home on the show of basically Jimmy getting into trouble and Clark having to go bail him out, and Superman
100%.
only showing up when he needed to be.
So thank you very much, JP. Next up, we had Kenny Crowley Jr. say, my favorite episode of The Adventures of Superman is Season 2, Episode 12, Panic in the Sky. This episode was so great. Seeing Superman flying up to the sky to stop the comet was one of the best moments from the series and one of the most impactful and powerful moments in the black and white era of the series. George Reeves was a great Superman, and this episode shows you why he is. Take care, guys, and keep up the super amazing work. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you so much. Yeah, this was a great episode. One that had some pretty good special effects for its time as well. It went all out trying to show us Superman using his amazing powers that we didn't really get to see in many cases, other than bending steel or bending a gun or bashing through a wall, all those kinds of things. This one went a little bit further than that.
The only hiccup outside of the fact that there are several times where Jimmy and the crew see Clark without his glasses on and don't really put two and two together. When he lands on the asteroid to set the bomb at the end of the episode, you could hear birds chirping. You never know. Maybe the asteroid has an atmosphere to it, and some birds are on it. I don't know. What's your favorite episode?
Let me see. I liked some of the anything that had Noelle Neal in it was great. The one where she imagines she's getting married to Superman was a fun one. And then there's some of the crazier ones, like when they're on an island and they're pirates. Some of those ones kind of come to mind. It's been a while since I've watched the series, but I do have to admit that Season 1, even though Noelle, who is obviously a personal favourite of mine, was not in Season 1, the tone of Season 1 was a lot more adult, I guess, than further seasons where they kind of, were obviously sponsored by Kellogg's and made it a bit more kid-friendly.
Yeah, mine's actually a Season 1 episode. I love the Evil 3. Mainly because it's just such a crazy episode. It's got some really good Perry White and Jimmy Olsen stuff. Like, they're the main focus of the episode. And I don't think this was planned, but there's a murder of a character, and the character's name was George Taylor,
yes.
Which in the comics was the editor before Perry White. So, but yeah, no, I agree with you about the first season being the preferred one, just because I love Noelle Neal, so it's not like I'm trying to say, but like those later color episodes, just they're hard for me to watch. I can't binge them. I have to watch like an episode or two and then walk away for a few days.
Yeah, they're a little bit hokey. But yes, so thank you to everyone for responding, or JP and Kenny for responding to this fan favorite question of the Adventures of Superman. But moving forward, we're going forward in time. Our new fan favorite question for this week is, what is your favorite episode of the New Adventures of Superman cartoon series? So it might take a bit more of a kind of reflection, because I, personally, off the top of my head, I can't think of an individual episode. I love the series as a whole, but try trying to find an particular individual episode might take a bit of watching. So you've got a week to get through, dig out your DVDs of the New Adventures of Superman cartoons. These were released in, was it 1966?
Yeah, 1966 is when it premiered. And then it had like 3 different names, and at one point he was paired with Aquaman. There were Superboy shorts as well, which have not been released on Blu-ray or DVD. I think the time has come, Warner Brothers, at least on like your archives, Warner Archive edition, because I want it. It's the only thing that's not on the shelf.
Exactly. So get into the fan favorite segment of our show. Head to the email. Actually, open up your email app. info@supermanhomepage.com is the email address to send your responses to. What is your favorite episode of the New Adventures of Superman cartoons? We'll get back to this segment when we return next week. All right, moving on to This Week in History. Here we go for Michael's segment.
Come with me now, my son, as we break through the bonds of your earthly confinement, traveling through time and space.
Not much this week. It's interesting. We do go to 1945 for Action Comics number 83, which has Superman coming out of a big top hat. It's at least a striking cover. Then we jump to 1965 with Superboy number 120, which is another one of those really like, this is the thing that would make you want to grab this issue off the stand. Just this entire setup. It's that kind of like, I've got to find out what's going on. Jumping ahead to 1975, we have Superman number 287, which, it's a little bit of crypto action in there. Superman, watch your footing. You're gonna hurt somebody there. I don't know about that. We have to jump to 1995 for the next one, and we have New Titans number 120. And if you doubted that this was the 1990s, Supergirl's outfit will dispel that feeling immediately. My God in heaven, this was such a bad title. We read these from Crisis to Crisis, and they wasted Supergirl in them. They really did. But we also had Superman number 99, which has a great cover. This is when Gil Kane was doing artwork for it as well. It was a good Agent Liberty issue. Jumping ahead to 2005, we have Adventures of Superman number 637, when we're getting deeper into the Ruin storyline. Greg Rucka's run on Adventures of Superman is one of my favorites from this century, and I think it's sad that it's not available digitally. Darkness Superman number 2. Again, I know we both read this, Steve. Do you have any memory of Darkness Superman at all?
Not at all. What's that? A Top Cow.
Yeah.
No memory.
Yeah, so it's Mark Silvestri's. Like, it was the same people that did like what was that? Witchblade,
right?
Was part of that as well. But we also have Teen Titans number 21, which had Superboy in it. This is a Speedy centric episode issue dealing with Dr. Light. I'm not going to get into that because then I got to start talking about Identity Crisis, and then we're just going to derail this entire hour. In 2015, we have Batman Superman number 19. We have Justice League number 39. This is more of that kind of zombie storyline with the Jason Fabok art. This is when the book got really good. Like, if you're sleeping on Justice League and the New 52, after Jim Lee's run, I would just start picking it up, because between Ivan Reis and Jason Fabok, the art was amazing and the stories were a lot of fun. We have Supergirl number 39. This is, of course, when she went to like that Hogwarts in space storyline that happened right towards the end. And Superman Wonder Woman number 16. Man, this is a heavy Superman week for the New 52, wasn't it? In the real world, we only have one thing this week, February 17th, which is today for me, is Kurt Swan's birthday. Legendary Superman artist Kurt Swan worked on the character for 30 years. I think the only artist to match him, not so much match him, but to kind of get to his level would be Dan Jurgens.
Yeah.
In terms of working on the character for a sustained period of time. So, but yeah, that is this week in history.
And Kurt Swan had such an impact for so many people. He is the Superman that they imagine in their mind's eye when they think of Superman. You know, for a lot of, for maybe not necessarily this generation, but for a lot of people of an older bent. But just like Dan Jurgens is for a lot of people our age, they're looking back and they go, "Oh, Dan Jurgens is the artist that I imagine Superman. He's the go-to guy." But I saw so many people react to our Kurt Swan birthday announcement today in a positive manner because he was the GOAT.
Yeah, he really was, and I think if we're being honest, by like the 80s, maybe it was not what was going to sell the book. But I think if you look at the late 60s and the early 70s work he did, especially when he was inked by George Klein or Murphy Anderson, it was hard to beat.
Yeah, definitely Anderson. I mean, they came up with the Swanderson nickname for their combined artwork. That's how good they were together and how renowned their artwork was. So, happy heavenly birthday to Kurt Swan. All right,
absolutely.
Let's move on and talking about comic book artists. We don't get to talk too much about comic book stuff on the live show as much as I do on the Speeding Bulletin weekly bulletins. But this week, DC were pretty proactive in sending out some advanced previews of some of the Summer of Superman publishing events, or leading into the Summer of Superman publishing event. They gave us a sneak peek at cover artwork, variant covers, and preview pages for Superman number 23, which will hit comic book shelves on February 26th. Let's have a quick look at some of those. Move the Fleischer thing out of the way. So here's Superman number 23. That is the main cover, but we've got some variants here. Clark Kent, that's his secret identity. Don't tell anybody. Then there's a couple of more variants. Nathan Zerdy there, a Supergirl one, a Kari Andrews one, and then there's this one, which is a cute kind of Dave Johnson cover. And then we've got some preview pages without any actual text or dialogue that are pretty cool to see. And some great artwork there. But yeah, Superman number 23 coming out later this month, written by Joshua Williamson and featuring incredible art by Dan Mora, Alejandro Sanchez, and Ariana Ma. Enemy of My Enemy is an essential part of the current Many Deaths of Doomsday arc and sets the stage for more big things in store for the Man of Steel this summer.
Yeah, I've actually been sitting on this story just to wait till it's done before I go through it and read it. Just because I think I'll get more out of it that way. Doing that with a lot of newer comics these days, just letting them become basically trade paperbacks.
Right.
Before I actually go through them.
No, fair
which
enough.
is probably a good thing we're not talking about the comics every week, because I'd be like, I haven't read it yet. Like, a lot.
And then DC sent us some previews of the Action Comics 1084 issue, which comes out on March 12th, Wednesday, March 12th. The finale of the Force Majeure storyline. That was the main cover there. Then we've also got a Crypto one by Jay Lee, a Nicola Scott cover, another Aussie artist there, and Danny. And then we've got Howard Porter has also contributed a variant cover. And then there's some interiors here. This is written by John Ridley with art by Inaki Miranda. and it's a different type of style. Superman's a lot bulkier than what we've seen him drawn by some artists of recent times, but nevertheless, some cool preview pages of this comic book, which sees the Man of Steel facing some hard truths when he finds out who's behind luring reformed villains back to the life of crime. So some interesting artwork preview there for upcoming issues, which DC's been pretty proactive doing this past week.
Yeah, that looks like a Superman that does not skip leg day.
Definitely.
And is probably the guy in the back, with the protein shake and talking about like his caveman diet and how, he's just he's luggage carrying big.
Yeah.
He really is.
So there you have it. That's some cool artwork there for upcoming comic books. Thanks to DC. All right, looking elsewhere in the world of Superman in this form of merchandise, a couple of coins have been produced and are available through Amazon via our website from different countries. This one is from Samoa, 2025, $10, 10-ounce silver Superman Last Son of Krypton antiqued coin. Stunning multiple layer technique creates super image. These are available. They're not cheap. This is over $1,000 US. I don't know how a $10.
Good Lord.
How is it valued at $10 if you have to pay $1,000 for it? I don't know, but this I think there's only 250 of these were made, so that's probably why they're a very limited edition. It is 99.9% silver, so there you go. That's a reason for that one, but that is available as a coin, Last Son of Krypton Superman coin from Samoa, and then from Barbados. This actually Superman-shaped, shield-shaped antique coin is a $5 3-ounce. Again, this one is $534 US. It is a 3-ounce Superman-shaped antique coin, and just 750 of these were made, and this is an impressive one, shaped like the S-Shield.
I'm sorry, it's like every time we do like the merchandise part of the show, it's like this thing cost $250 million, 5 of them were made, and it's only available on the dark side of the moon. So it's just like...
Yeah, sell your
who is
firstborn
this
child,
for?
your kidney. I don't know. People are obviously buying them for them to be made, but they are. They're a hefty price. But look, if you are going to buy one, then please do it through our link because we get kickbacks, and a percentage.
Yeah.
Any percentage of that is a nice little. It's no extra cost to you. When you're spending $1,000, then who cares? But that's. I don't know who buys these, but there's obviously a market for them.
Yeah, that's the thing it's like my day job right now where I see people buying stuff that I would never buy. And I'm just like, well, obviously somebody wants this. So it always comes down to like the problem's me and not like everybody else. Like I'm the weird one. I'm the outlier. I'm the one that doesn't want to spend $450 on a cyborg Superman statue, or $1,000 on a figure based on the Zack Snyder Justice League film, or $1,000 for a coin that's only a $10 coin. That math ain't mathin'. It's just, I just.
You know what? I'm sure Shaq is buying one of these.
God, I hope so. But no, it just brings to mind the fact that it's something that's just been on my mind lately, and I'm not going to get into anything specifically, but the world is not good right now. And I'm talking globally. I'm not just talking in the United States. There is a lot of uncertainty, and there's a lot of unrest, and
the cost of living
times
is
of
so
fear.
high.
Yeah, the cost of living is high, and in times of fear or confusion, we do want to kind of fall back on our entertainment, which is why I think a Superman film coming out this year is kind of on brand. It was like back in 1978. It was the end of the 70s. The U.S. economy was not doing well. The United States itself was getting over the Vietnam War. And it's just like, now we have this film of this character who's hopeful.
Yeah.
But what it brings to mind, and maybe it's because I'm packing things and realizing the borderline personality disorder I've had for the past 25 years in living in this house and collecting things. It's just like, who buys this stuff? And again, I'm not. This isn't a judgment thing. This isn't me saying you shouldn't buy it. I'm just wondering who can afford to buy all of this stuff.
Yeah. Now, I see some of these people with those statues that you mentioned that are, like you said, $1,000 a pop or more, and they're buying every one. I'm like, where are you getting your income? Like, you're a drug dealer?
I mean, maybe they're into crypto. I don't know. And I don't mean the dog. Mean like the currency. No, it's just fascinating because we're heading into a Superman film. And we've talked about this a number of times over the years, particularly when a new film is about to come out, that like this is the time where Superman gets merchandise. So we tend to kind of jump on it when we can because it's not like Spider-Man and Batman, which seem to be like evergreen properties. We were talking about the I almost said the flashlight, the electric toothbrush at the beginning, and that's the kind of stuff that we're going to be seeing. It's not just the T-shirts and the action figures, which we've talked about in the past. It's going to be stuff like a watermelon flavored toothpaste. Old Spice has the Superman stuff right now with the citrus scent. What is it with people associating Superman with flavors and scents that I do not associate Superman with? When I think like it should be like apple pie. It should be something like truly like something quintessentially American. It's just like, and I'm not like a cheese like I don't think a cheeseburger flavored toothpaste would be any better, but it's just
don't give them any ideas.
It's just been it's been a weird week, y'all. And I've been thinking about Superman a lot, mainly because the new movie's coming out, and I'm doing this series on my show. It all comes back to Superman, where I'm going through all the films. So it's just been like kind of on my mind, and I'm just really excited for the movie. Like my excitement level I'm actually having to like throttle back on Superman content so that I don't get completely burned out by July.
Yeah, no, I get you. I get where you're coming from. It's I've been like thinking about all the things that are about to come our way, and like, are we going to be able to, am I going to have enough time? Am I going to be, who do I turn to make sure that we don't miss anything? And it's just going to be just full on in this next couple of months with all this merchandise, and just so much is going to be coming our way, and there's going to be promotions left, right, and center, and just as like trying to stay on top of it all and make sure we're reporting on it all, and trying to get all our ducks in a row to make sure that it's, as the preeminent Superman fan site in the world, that we are living up to that standard and giving the fans the stuff that they want without going absolutely crazy and burning ourselves out in the meantime. So really interesting times ahead. Just wrote a newsletter. We went to a new newsletter platform. For anyone who's not subscribed to our newsletter, simply go to supermanhomepage.com/newsletter. Wrote this whole column about using AI and AI just in general, and it blew up. Got some pretty fervent responses about AI and using AI, and I related it back to Superman, of course, as you know, everything comes back to Superman. But
yes,
yeah, some really interesting feedback from that, because technology plays a major role in everything we do as being a website. You know, we're using technology right now to get to people across the world, and AI is becoming a massive part of what we do in technology. I'm surprised that toothbrush didn't have an AI message label somewhere on it saying it's got new technology, that it's going to be able to tell you which tooth to brush next and as it goes along, because that's how prevalent this stuff's becoming.
I think where people get the most up in arms about AI, which is actually something I kind of agree with, is that when you're talking about like artwork, for example,
I get that.
It is scavenging other people. I mean, it's just what artificial intelligence does. That's the basic thing is it's scavenging the internet and looking for examples. And it's funny though that I am clocking in certain press releases from entertainment things, like even comics and such. I'm like, that's AI.
Yeah.
That has to be AI. And it's always like, something about like a warm and pleasant,
Yes.
pop culture thing. I was like, no, that's AI. No
Yeah.
human being wrote that.
No.
And the problem with that is, because you share a lot of the AI stuff that you're playing with us in the helper chat, and there's a part of me like that's really cool, but there's also a part of me that, I guess because I don't do it for a living.
Yeah.
When I'm writing text, I want it to be me. I want it to be my voice. But if you're just writing a press release, I could see them wanting to use AI. But that is kind of taking a job away from somebody that used to do that. Now it could be that they made unpaid interns do it, so that's entirely possible. But it's such a thorny issue.
It is, and that's what I go through in my article that I wrote for this newsletter about. Is it taking jobs away from people? As someone just mentioned, I'm animating some of these statues in my room using AI apps that I wouldn't have done these things if the apps didn't exist. Like, I'm not going to hire an animator to animate a statue in my room from a photograph. It was just a toy to play with, and it's just a bit of fun. But I can see where people are up in arms about it, and it is a very thorny issue, as you said, and there's going to be lots of ramifications coming out of this whole AI wave of technology that's hitting everybody right at the moment. But this is not the show to do it on, and even if we want to, we've run out of time. It is the end of our hour. I want to thank everybody who joined us tonight. We really appreciate your company. Thank you to our sponsors and patrons, Douglas Meacham, John Patrick Van Pelt, and Tina Murray. Really appreciate your support. And thank you to you, my co-host, Michael Bailey. Thank you, Mike.
Is it this? No, it's this way. Yep, it's this way because I'm on this side this week. Sorry, you usually have me now on the other side.
I do.
So I got used to that. And now...
Just playing with you.
I'm still thankful for being here, no matter what, no matter what side of the room you're on.
So am I. Thank you very much. Michael and I, and Mark, if he gets better, I hope he does. A shout out to Mark. Get well soon, my friend. We will be back next week on Monday, February, 24th.
24th.
At 7:30 p.m. Pacific time for another edition of Superman Homepage Live. Hope you'll join us then. Until then, be sure to check out supermanhomepage.com for all your daily news updates on everything surrounding the Man of Steel. I'm Steve Eunice on behalf of myself and Michael Bailey. Thanks for watching Superman Homepage Live, brought to you by supermanhomepage.com. Good night.